everybody. Hope everybody's having a great afternoon today. It is a beautiful spring day here in Virginia. I'm out to taking one of my nature walks and hikes this afternoon and thought I'd stop in live stream with you guys, see how everybody was doing today, and check out some nature and wildlife. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. It's just about 70 degrees today, probably a little bit warmer, probably about closer to 75, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And it's springtime. We see some leaves back here getting on the trees, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I just thought I would come and hang out with you guys. I told you I'd be back live streaming with you this afternoon, sharing some more of my live recovery story. And I'm here on the beautiful river here, just hanging out, taking my walk this afternoon. It is a gorgeous spring day here in Virginia. And just wanted to share this experience with you that I'm having here in my life. This is my recovery story, by the way, for people that's just jumping in. So I'm a person that's in recovery, in the rebuilding process right now, and I'm sharing my recovery story here on YouTube, and I've been doing it now for almost a couple years. Well, I say a couple years, but probably about 18 months now. And it's been a heck of an experience here. If you guys have been keeping up with me, that's been following along, you guys have seen me definitely up and down and all around. So life has certainly taken some turns that's been unexpected, and a whole lot of things has happened. But I continue to keep going, continue to keep pushing forward, doing my best I can do out here, trying to stay strong. It's definitely been challenging at times, just trying to keep up with life and all the curveballs that life has been throwing my way here lately. But it is an absolutely gorgeous day, you guys, and I just wanted to share this beautiful day with you. See if I get some more of my followers to join me today and kind of hang out and talk and see how everybody's doing, and let everybody know how I'm doing. Doing okay, a little tired today. It's definitely challenging out here in recovery, trying to rebuild, trying to get my life back together now after suffering from alcoholism and depression for 17 years, and then dealing with incarcerations on top of that. Had a lot of family loss. A lot of things happened in my life, but I'm thankful to be living today. Thankful to have this opportunity to be here on the channel with you today, and share this experience in life with you. For me, I can only say that in my past life, I had a lot of bad experiences with alcoholism and depression, and now I'm 47 years old, and I'm trying to rebuild my life and restore my life the best I know how, and trying to inspire people and motivate other people in recovery to join along with me. I got some people here on the chat board. I'm going to have to get my reading glasses on, you guys, so I can see what people are saying. Let me go ahead and do that now. Get these sunglasses off, even though it is bright. I need to get me some transition glasses. That way I can see and the sun won't be in my face. But let me get these other reading glasses on so I can see what people are saying here to me on the chat board. It says, how's it going, Georgia Bulldogs? It's going, man. It's a great spring day here in Virginia. It's great to be alive, I can say I'm thankful today to have this opportunity to be here on the channel to share my story. Lucky I'm not dead, drinking myself to death, or somebody killed me in prisons or jails all the years that I had to spend away in there. So I'm just out here trying to transition through life, trying to adjust, roll with the changes in life as they come to me, trying to rebuild. Man, it's been a heck of a journey, I can tell you, these past couple years. If you guys have been watching me on my videos, I've been vlogging my whole recovery story for the past 18 months. So let's see. It says, do you pray for the victims of your crimes? What I did do is I did ask for forgiveness. I absolutely did. I paid my restitution. I paid all my court fines off. I asked for forgiveness from the people I did offend. And I've also asked for forgiveness from the Lord. And that's what I live in today, forgiveness. I don't live in that guilt and shame and remorse anymore. So, good question. I'm glad you asked that question today. All I can say is that I'm thankful, very, very thankful to be here today with you guys. It is absolutely gorgeous. A beautiful spring day here. I am walking. I am on a train trestle actually. So I'm on a river walk today, out in nature and wildlife. You guys follow along with me. Know that I get out here and meditate and pray and, try to think life through, one day at a time, staying sober through it all. It's definitely challenging out here trying to rebuild and recovery, trying to get your life together when there's so many barriers against you, when you destroyed your younger life and you have a record. And I tell you, it's really tough. I tell younger people, don't get tangled up into alcohol and drugs and get a record, because it carries with you your whole life. And it makes it extremely hard to try to do any better, and then when people look at you and look at you in a certain type of way, then, it can be that way towards you, and it make you feel a certain type of way. So definitely very challenging, but it's an experience, that's what life is. It's a living experience. Let's see. No prayers for the victims of your crimes, though. Well, I say prayers for everybody. I already said I asked for forgiveness, and of course I pray for everybody, not just for people that I've, offended in my past when I was a drinker. So, good question. Thanks for asking. I would bet that the victims of your crimes have trouble rebuilding their life as well. Well, I'm sure, I done some things, when I was drinking that I didn't intend to do. So, I made mistakes in life, but that I can't take those mistakes back. All I can say is that I try every day to be a better person today, to be a better man than I was yesterday, and to do the best I can. That's about it. I'm nobody special. I put my pants on just like everybody else. But, like I say, I'm a man in recovery that's just trying to rebuild, share my story out here, and hopefully inspire and motivate some other people to join me in my efforts. You got some silly stuff you're saying today, guy. So I really don't prefer to want to talk about that right now, actually. So I'm here on the live stream, I'm here talking, so you're definitely not going to take over the channel today and make it your conversation. So we're not going to go there. But anyways, I hope everybody else is having a great day. And if this is all you got to do is get on my channel today and bug me, you can just move on. Just like every other troll, just move right on along. But yeah, it's a great day, everybody. Like I say, thanks for joining me on my live stream earlier. It's great to be able to share, share some life experiences with you. Talk about life, talk about nature, talk about creation, just about all kinds of things. And it's a lot of people out today. I didn't figure it'd be all these many people, but it is warm, it's springtime, and people wanting to get out on Sunday and enjoy themselves. I don't blame them. It's about, feels like it's about 80 again today. It was 80 yesterday and the day before, and I'm definitely glad to see these warmer temperatures. Wintertime, oh man, this past winter was rough. I don't know if you guys have followed along with me when I was up in the Shenandoah Valley, but I was up there in 0-degree weather. I caught pneumonia down in Tennessee. I don't know if you guys followed me down to Tennessee when I was down there, but I was down in Tennessee, got pneumonia and had to turn around and come back. So came back to Virginia, went back to the mountains for a little while, and now I'm down here towards North Carolina and just trying to figure out some direction in my life right now, trying to figure out which way I'm going to go in life. It's been a long time since I can say that I've experienced freedom, because of being incarcerated, dealing with all of that for years, and then dealing with probation, for years after that, getting off that, being in recovery, just going through all of that has been a process. And I can say that, as I'm stepping along in this process, it's a journey, but I can tell you it's a journey that I'll never forget and I'll never regret. I'm so glad that I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking cigarettes, and started trying to make some changes in my life to be a better person. I didn't like the person I had became, and I'm sure other people didn't like me either. But it's an absolutely gorgeous day, you guys, here in springtime. You can see all the leaves coming on the trees. And the pollen, I'm telling you, the pollen has been tearing me up this past week. I have serious allergies to pollen. But I tell you, I would take the pollen over all those cold temperatures I had to deal with back this winter over anything. So it's a great day, you guys. I hope everybody had a great weekend wherever you're at this spring. Let's see what Curly says here. Curly says, God bless. God bless you too, Curly. I hope you're having a good day. Says, what you believe you can achieve, never give up. You're right. It takes believing in order to achieve. As a matter of fact, it takes, how we think, our thinking process, and I tell you, it's been tough. It's been very challenging for me. I've wanted to give up this past winter, and even this past month. It's been really hard just trying to get all the needs met, with housing and employment and everything like that. So, it's staying strong, and just fighting through it, trying to find the energy, trying to find the strength to keep moving forward. I tell you, they make it awful challenging and awful real trying to rebuild when you come out from a in like I did, and then you try to come out and the laws don't change, and people don't want you in their houses if you did something 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's crazy. I was a drinker, and it wasn't no sex offense, no sex crime or nothing. I didn't hurt anybody or malicious wounded anybody or anything like that. I was drunk and said something on the phone that was absurd, and they gave me a charge for it. So a felony, as a matter of fact. So I had to deal with that. And nothing I did. I got sent to prison for something I said drunk. They never gave me any help. Sent me to prison as a criminal. I lost my parents. I was divorced. I have a daughter I've never met. The system really chewed me up. They didn't give me any help at all. And I lost a lot. I lost a lot because of that. And that's, it's not so much about what I lost, but also what I gained. I've gained a lot in my life by just being able to be here. I'm so thankful to have this opportunity to live, after suffering for so long. But thank you. I appreciate the encouragement, Curly. That means a lot to me. I really do. I appreciate it. What's my favorite sport? My favorite sport, Curly, I would have to say is baseball. I know it seems pretty boring, but I've always liked baseball. Seeing who is the best pitcher. There's some really good pitchers out there that can throw some pretty fast balls. So I like baseball. I like bowling. I like shooting pool. I like fishing. I had planned on trying to do some fishing last year and was looking forward to it. But my roommate got me kicked out and I lost my place. And, it's been struggling trying to find another place. Well, I'm not saying not approaching her, but approaching her mother to try to meet her for the first time. And I don't know how it's going to go, but however it goes, I'm going to stay strong, stay faithful, and stay sober through it, and, one day that'll become possible for me. I just got to keep going and not give up, still strong here after, I guess, December 23, I started this. So I've been going now, 15, 16 months or so. So you guys have seen me up, you've seen me down and all around for sure over these past 16 months. But, I keep on fighting through it, staying strong. I just know one day the right time and the right place is going to come for me and things will line up, and then everybody can look back through my story, blogging, everything that I've went through, to let them know, other people, to encourage them, to inspire them, to let them know that recovery is possible. That's why I'm doing this, not only to help me, but to help other people as well, how to stay strong, how to fight through it, how to stay faithful, how to be patient, how to wait. These are things that was very challenging for me how to learn, how to be patient and wait on life. Life can really throw some nasty curveballs at you sometimes. I know that's happened to me quite often, and stuff that I've had to deal with. Curly said, I like baseball too, but my favorite sport is football. Oh, okay, you like football. I mean, I love football as well. I should have said that. I do like football. I like college football, NFL. I appreciate you hanging out with me today, Curly. It's been a challenging week for me. I don't know. I've just been kind of feeling down and out. Just kind of feeling missing something in life, and I'm not really sure what it is. I felt like I was serving my meaning and purpose here on the channel, sharing my recovery story, and now I'm just at a crossroad in life, not really sure where to go in my life or what to do with the rest of my life now that I'm off of probation. I don't drink anymore, these kinds of things. So now it's about, I guess, trying to make some new connections in life and try to get settled somewhere. I've lost all my family while I was incarcerated. They passed away and stuff like that. So it's just really me out here now. So, see, Curly said my favorite team is the 49ers. Oh, okay, the 49ers had a great team, still do. They always really have. I liked the 49ers when they had Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Back in the day, some of the greatest players of all time. Whew. But I'm glad to see springtime. This winter really bashed me. It was so bad. I got put out. My roommate got me put out of my place by saying some things behind my back. And then I had to deal with all the cold temperatures, being without a home. I mean, tell you, it was tough. It was times I felt like giving up, but you guys can see my videos. I just kept on pushing through it. Just kept on sledding right on through the ice, kept on pushing. And, here I am, and like I said, I guess I'm at a crossroad in my life right now, and I'm just really trying to figure out, how I can serve a better meaning and purpose in life here in my recovery, and also how I can impact other people in their recovery. I can say that for me, I'm very thankful to be alive, to be in recovery, to have an opportunity to share my story. I could say that I probably should have been a dead man a long time ago with the amount of alcohol I was drinking and the amount of drug use I was using. So I'm just thankful that, something inside of me allowed me to stop that and start making the needed changes in my life. And I tell you, it hasn't been easy. It's actually gotten harder. And I tell people this sometimes. I say, it was easier being in prison than it is being out here on the streets. And that's just the truth of it. Then the shelters are in that I've been staying in, it's pitiful. It really is. Shelter life is terrible. And there's some solutions that I've come up with. Self-sustainable tiny communities, for homeless people, and working together in that community for that community, these types of things that, I've come in my mind to create, but I don't have the funding in place. I don't have people to, I guess, put me on to make this happen, but hopefully I can keep going. I can get enough attention. Hopefully somebody will see me one day, believe in me if I keep going and keep going and keep going and get to the point that I'm here in recovery, that I'm staying in recovery, and that I support people in recovery. Amen. Whew. That's a good little walk. I just came from the other side of the river. And y'all see me on that trestle. I was walking across the river, but I'll turn the camera around here for a little bit for you guys and show you this beautiful river walk that I'm on today. And there was a guy fishing on the other side over there, and he was telling me, I was telling him that there was a bunch of fish I saw, and he was saying they were carp and they were spawning and that they wouldn't bite. So, and then there was another guy netting carp, and he was saying he was using them for bait. I'm not quite sure about that. Yes, that duo was lethal, Joe and Rice, absolutely. But it was a beautiful day. And like I say, I'm just out of here on my river walk today, doing some reflecting. I'm at, like I said, a cross point in my life, trying to find some direction. where do I go in my life today? Where do I take myself? I made this pit stop along to try to meet my daughter I've never met for the first time in my life here back in my hometown. And, I approached her mother and, I'm waiting to hear if I hear anything at all. And, I've accepted it whichever way it goes. I've accepted it if, my daughter is not ready to meet me. And, if they're not accepted of me right now, I have to understand that. And life moves on. I keep it moving. Right on down the road I go on to the next place. And I'm not sure where that is, I know where I've been, but I don't know where I'm going. And I know I'm not going back where I've been. I'm not going back into drinking, back into incarcerations or nothing like that anymore. Whatever life throws my way now, I just embrace it. I just tie a knot at the end of the rope and hang on and fight through it. That's about all I can do now. I definitely know drinking is not going to solve it. Drug use is not going to solve it. Getting depressed, worrying is not going to solve it. So life is just life. It has its ways of bringing us things that are just super challenging sometimes. Sometimes overwhelming. I know for me, sometimes I can get overwhelmed in life and get in too big of a hurry, and get in my own way and often getting in other people's way as well. Well, thank you, Fishing. Jesus loves you too. I appreciate it. I know Jesus loves me, and that's what keeps me going. I want to be honest with you today. I know Jesus loves me, but I tell you, I wish the few family members that I had left loved me. I wished that my daughter's mother loved me enough to let me meet my daughter. All these things I wish, but I can't, control other people. I can't make other people do anything, but, I know that Jesus loves me, and I know that Jesus loves everybody, and it's a shame that after you make a mistake in life, you have to keep paying for it, especially after you're trying so hard to rebuild, but I've said this and I'm committed to it. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how long I have to wait, I'm not drinking. I'm not getting depressed. I'm not drinking. I'm not giving up. That's just it. I can't give up. I'm too far in it now. I got you guys behind me, encouraging me, and I can't give up on me. I can't give up on the Lord. I can't give up on my daughter. This is something I've worked extremely hard for to get to this point, my recovery. And I just want to thank you all for joining me on my live streams, hanging out with me, being with me, encouraging me through it all. You guys help me more than you ever know. When I get lonely and I feel down, I can always get on here and live stream with you guys, and you always make me feel better each and every time. And I greatly appreciate that. Says, Fishing says, true, but when you have a relationship with him, and he will always forgive you as long as you accept forgiveness. And also, that's amazing you've quit. Thank you very much, and I'm glad you shared that. You're absolutely right. It's about living in forgiveness. For me, I had beat myself up for years from all the destruction I had did from drinking. When I was drinking, I destroyed, like I said, both of my marriages. I destroyed other families. I was just a mean drunk. I grew up to an abusive family, was abused and took and placed in orphanages, and dealt with a lot of trauma. And that's kind of the way I was. And then I started drinking and just became this real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and got sent away into state prisons and nearly lost my life in there. So I'm very thankful, like I said, to have this opportunity today to share my story. Hopefully it can help people. I can definitely say it's helping me in my recovery just being here. I definitely noticed something was different in my life when I stopped drinking and stopped smoking cigarettes and using drugs. Something, a different experience in my life was happening to such a point that I started videoing it. I started vlogging this here on YouTube. And then also now on TikTok. I'm also on TikTok, not as much. But I had a younger person tell me that I should share my story on there as well. So I've done that as well, but it's been extremely challenging keeping up with all the social media platforms, my Facebook, my TikTok, my YouTube, but I'm doing the best I can to manage all of it. When one door closes, another one opens. Thank you, Curly. I appreciate you saying that. God bless you. People that are hurt also hurt other people. That's very true. That is so very true. Hurt people tend to find hurt people. You know, I can often say that a hurting person will find somebody hurting fast enough. That's for sure. You're absolutely right about that. That's a powerful testimony. God bless you, man. Also, I would recommend reading the book of John. Take some time and read John. I appreciate it, Fishing. You know, I've read a lot of scripture when I was away. And, but I can never get enough reading. And I'll definitely take some time out and look through the book of John and read that. And because there's always something that I could miss in there that I could catch and learn something from. Because being in recovery is a learning process. You know, this is something that I'll be in for the rest of my life, and I'm hoping to make a full recovery. That's why I'm here, to make a full recovery, to let other people know that recovery is possible, how to get through the tough times, how to stay motivated. These are all the reasons why I've been here vlogging on YouTube, not only for my recovery, but also for other people's recovery, to help in the effort to save lives. Lost two of my close friends to overdoses a couple years ago, and I tell you, it's definitely devastating to see all the lives that's being lost. And also with the homelessness, I'm dealing with it right now. As a matter of fact, I'm still having trouble finding permanent housing, on the fact I have an old criminal record that's still hanging with me, have to deal with. And that really harbors me from getting any kind of future employment, housing, or anything like that, even after years upon years upon years of doing better. It's just, some people are like, no, you done this way back when. So it's been extremely hard and extremely challenging. But I've been fighting through it, trying to stay strong the best way I know how. And I tell you, you guys help keep me strong. Like I say, being here on my live streams with me, encouraging me here on the channel. I appreciate having you. And it is it's a beautiful spring day. I'm out here enjoying a walk on the river, getting some fresh air, and doing what I got to do. I say I'm in temporary housing, so I got to be put out every day. And I'm out here anyways, and eventually, something's going to fall through. Eventually I'll find housing. Eventually I'll find work. All these things I just stay strong and stay faithful with, and not giving up. It's where it's at. I used to give up in the past, and when things wouldn't work out fast enough for me or wouldn't go my way, I would drink, get depressed, all these types of things. And now I've learned that's life. There's just a lot in life that's not in my control. A lot in life that I can't change and that I have to accept. And it's about acceptance. About accepting life on life's terms. It's what it's been about for me too. Fishing says, hey, at least you're doing better, man. If you were still in that state of drinking and such, you wouldn't be any closer to housing and work. But since you're trying it, yeah, it'll come. I just don't know when. I don't think anybody knows when anything is going to come, or even what our next day is going to be like, or even what our next hour is going to be like. So it's kind of basically life is, to me, is like living in the unknown, living in the unexpected, and seeing what we're gifted with or not so gifted with. It's kind of like wait and see. I often wonder now, it kind of reminded me of something my ex-wife used to say, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And I would always worry her to death. I really wanted the answer now. And definitely can understand what she was saying behind that about, crossing that bridge when we get to it. Bye, I have to go. God bless. Okay, Curly, take care. Thanks for stopping in with me, Curly. I appreciate you having you today. And if you haven't already subbed to my channel, I'd love to have you here in the community. Love for you to sub. Enjoyed hanging out with you today, man. And you made my day, as a matter of fact, just chatting with me today. You brought me up, and I wanted you to know that. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you again soon. Oh, well, thanks, Curly. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for subbing. And thanks for all my other new subs, too, here on the channel. It's a pleasure to have you. I was just taking it one day at a time, telling you how it goes. And I've been vlogging this from day one, my live recovery story here for you. 15 months in the making now. I think I have a video count of 673 up. So it's been basically my life as it's been, as I go. So if you want to kind of get a gist of what this has been about for me, or any of my live streams, or what this has been like, please check out some of my videos. A lot of nature and wildlife stuff for you to watch. A lot of beautiful things here in Virginia and Tennessee. Do I have a Bible? Yes, I do. I use a New King James Version. I absolutely do. Digital Bible on my phone, since we all use our phones so much now. Yeah, I should read it more, actually, Fishing. I haven't been reading the Bible as much as I should, and that's just being honest. Every day getting up, getting myself together, getting out here beating the streets, trying to find the next place and the next thing. But here I go making excuses of why I'm not reading the Bible, so shouldn't be doing that. But definitely, more prayer and meditation time. I can't say that enough. I don't think I've been doing that as much as I should. I used to get up in the mornings and get up early and get down the river and pray and meditate, and that really helped my day a lot, so I haven't been doing that as much as I should have. So I definitely think doing that is going to improve my days a lot. I know that, I've been missing something in my day here lately, so that could be part of it. Same, man, we all struggle. I'm with you on that. Yeah, life is challenging, man, the ups and downs of life, right? I'm just so glad it's springtime, man. This winter was rough. It was probably one of the coldest winters I think I've experienced in years. I was up in the Shenandoah Valley, up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I'm telling you, it snowed and iced up there for about 2 weeks, and it was just crazy cold. I was out trudging out in it, getting all my community service hours done so I could get off probation. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen me up there in that or not. I videoed it for you and all that when I got off paper, and I was celebrating. And, it's been one step at a time, one day at a time, and now it's just for me is just praying and meditating this week. Trying to find some direction in my life, trying to find where my next place to go is in life, to find, continue my meaning and purpose here in my recovery. I know that I can be put to use somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know where the Lord wants me or where I could be used at, but hopefully He's using me right here and right now. Hopefully, I'm inspiring some people here and helping some people, and also just maybe just getting out, me being able to share. Let's see, Fishing says it was like 0 degrees for weeks where I'm at. Yeah, it was crazy, man. I'm telling you, it snowed and iced up there, and then I had to get out and do community service, and the cold, like 0 degrees, and I turned in 162 hours finally in like a month and a half. Didn't ever get the money to pay them all, so the judge was like, just do community service and you can get it done that way. So I did like 162 hours in the freezing cold, got all that mess done, turned it in, got off probation. They finally was like, okay, you can leave now. So now I'm like, okay, well, all my people's died. I lost basically all my family and life. I have a daughter I've never met. I'm attempting right now to try to meet her for the first time in my life. And, it's not sure how that's going to go, but either way, life moves on, and I'm going to stay strong through it all, despite whatever it is. I'm trying to do the best I can do, and that's all I can do. and wait on life, and wait on the Lord for whatever, he brings in my life to me, because I can't do any more than what I've already done, pretty much. So, but it is an absolutely gorgeous day. I'm going to show you guys around up here when I get up on the river walk up here back on the bridge and show you how beautiful it is here as soon as I get around this curve up here. But I didn't plan on walking this far. Boy, I done got tired now. I done got to talking and got to live streaming with you guys and got engaging, which has been a really great conversation this afternoon. It was a lot better than what I expected, and it's been a pleasure, talking to Fishing and talking to Curly. You guys have made my day. I want you to know that. I was feeling pretty down and out, and being here with you guys has definitely picked me up today, and I appreciate being here with you, and I appreciate having you here with me. Let's see, it says, hey, I'll pray that reaching out to your daughter goes well. Hope she is Christian, and if not, I hope that you can talk to her on that. Yeah, I'm not really sure if she's Christian or not. I know her mother is, and I know her mother's had her in church and stuff, so I'm pretty sure she is a Christian, and she has a Christian family and stuff like that, so I'm pretty sure, and if it don't go well, hey, I did my part. I did what I could do, and maybe there'll be another time, and I'm sure there will be another time, right now, my daughter's 14, and, she's grown up without me, and she could be calling somebody else dad by now, and other things. I don't have a clue, so I don't want to jump to assumptions or anything like that because I don't know. And I haven't been told, so I just kind of wait around and see what happens. That's all I can do. But I appreciate the prayers. Thank you so much for them. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go get on up here a little ways. I'm getting ready to cross the bridge now, across the river, and go back to the other side. And once I get up here on the bridge, I'll turn the camera around and show you guys how beautiful it is here and where I'm at, just trying to, like I say, find some direction in life and try to figure out where my next stop is. I've been thinking the West Coast. I've never been out there. Thought Florida, thought all kinds of places. So it's just kind of me out here now, but I've been taking you guys with me everywhere, throughout these years. So you've been able to keep up with me, how I've been doing, how life has been treating me, how my recovery's going, and the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs, so to speak. Still trying to get my autobiography written. It's been a slowdown here lately, just with trying to get adjusted to getting moved back down here, but I'm still writing my autobiography for you guys about my life, about my childhood, growing up in boys' homes and orphanages, being a young adult, an alcoholic, my life being incarcerated for years, what that was like, and what life is beginning for me now, a new life, as I call it. It's definitely a different experience. Definitely one I'm enjoying, I could say, a lot better today. Even though it's still hard, it's struggling. It says, if and when you meet her and you make the right impression, it will be good. You're absolutely right, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your encouragement. The Northeast is nice. If you haven't been out, it's cold though. Yeah, I haven't been up to the Northeast really. I can quite honestly say I've probably only been up to Pennsylvania as far as Northeast I've been. So I'm originally from Florida and then was basically partially raised here in Virginia and then some in Ohio, but never really been anywhere as an adult because, like I said, I had dealt with alcoholism for so many years. I stayed in and drank and then got in trouble and dealt with incarcerations. So I was away for many, many years, tucked behind the walls, kind of the state that threw the key away on me. I had gave up on me. My family had gave up on me. And here we are, 18 years later now, and here I am today, and it's unbelievable. That's all I can say, because I had figured I would drink myself to death, or that I would die in prison, or that something would happen to me. And since I was still here after all those years, that I should clean myself up, and start trying to do something right in life. So that's what I'm doing today, trying to do something right, trying to do something different. I'll show you guys around a little bit. I'm out here on the river walk today, and it is absolutely beautiful. The guy said the carp was running. He was down here fishing, and he was telling me the carp were running, but they wouldn't bite. He said because they were spawning, but they were netting them and saying they were using them for bait or something, so I'm not sure. But it's a whole lot of people out today because it was a beautiful spring day. Oh, those carp are something to catch. They're really big, and they're really hard to get in if you try to catch one. I used to catch them, and then I would cut the hook and the line off on them because they were so big. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Fishing, for telling me that it's beautiful. A lot of people has done a lot of graffiti up here. Everywhere you go, it's always some kind of graffiti or writing. Everywhere I can remember places I've been, there's also written a lot of graffiti on. You guys see these here. I don't know if people knows what these mean. That's on bridges and that are locks like that. That's usually somebody that's passed away, that's died. And that's a memory piece right there. Doesn't have any name on it, but sometimes they put names and things like that on it. Or it could be somebody that's just got married, some kind of memory piece that people put on bridges and stuff like that with the locks. I know I seen one like this before, and then the city came through and cut them all off, which I think was terrible. They shouldn't have done that. But I didn't know if other people had known what those locks meant that were like on bridges and things like that. Here's another one. It's got some names on it. Ben and Brandy. Ben loves Brandy. So this is a relationship lock. Ben and Brandy, huh? Well, hopefully they make it. That's all I can say. Boy, I done got tired now. It makes for some long days out here, I tell you. Just trying to get it all figured out. It takes getting a lot of yeses and a lot of things falling in place to get it all to work out and rebuilding and being in my recovery. But I'm not giving up, and one day something to come along for me, I'm sure. Says I know my buddy put one with his girlfriend on a bridge near me, and they broke up, and he asked me to lock pick it. I heard that he don't want it anymore on there, huh? That made me laugh. I'm glad. Glad you guys hung out with me today. I really am. It's a pleasure having you. Man, so much I've wanted to do, so much fishing and things and hiking and camping I haven't been able to do because I haven't had the money, haven't had permanent housing. And I'm just gotta wait. I'm just patiently waiting. And I said, man, I hope my community don't give up on me. I hope you guys don't unsub on me and give up, because I've wanted to make things happen so much faster, but I just haven't been able to. And it's kind of beat me up a little bit on the inside, to be honest, that I haven't been able to get the fishing show I wanted to get going and the other camping and hiking stuff. So says, yeah, fishing is fun. It's definitely worth the wait. Yeah, one day, it's definitely going to be worth the wait, because one day I'll be able, as long as I don't give up, one day I'll be able to enjoy it. One day it's going to be a payoff, and I'll be able to enjoy every mile that I walk, every minute of my sobriety, every minute of my recovery. I'll be able to look back on this and count every mile. That I made every mile count. That's what it's been about. And hopefully I can help some other people too in the long run, you know, and help save some lives. Well, you guys, I didn't plan on walking this far. Whew. I was going to walk across the river and keep on going, but here I am, walked across the river and walked back across it again. But it's okay. It ain't like the first time I've walked dozens of miles. I've had to do it before, do it again. We'll walk down here to this old train trestle here and look around. Some old driftwood and stuff's piled up down here. They had a big flood years ago. Well, I say years ago. It wasn't years ago. It was probably, I don't know, about 6 months ago maybe. I absolutely love the color of these trees right here. This is one of my favorite colors. It's purple. I love that purple color right there. And these old bridge pilings right here. This used to be an old train trestle here, but it's not anymore. It's part of the river walk system, but this is part of the old train trestle that used to come through here. And you can see those old bridge pilings right there. They don't quite make them like that anymore. That's some great big old stone that got set because this is a really old town where I'm at. Sorry for the blur, trying to get my camera to adjust. This is a beautiful day, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. It's old. It's really old. I can see one shaped like a pyramid right there. But there's people everywhere. I didn't even realize there was some people down there. We'll get out and leave them alone. There's some people sitting down there trying to hang out. There's people everywhere today, so it ain't really nowhere to go that it ain't no people out. It says, those trees are the best. My neighborhood has a couple, and they are so pretty. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what kind of trees they are? Do you have any idea? We'll walk down here and check out this guy. I was talking to him a little bit ago. He was the one fishing. What kind of bait do you put on there?
Right there, that's chicken.
That's chicken thighs? That's what you're using?
That's right. I set it out and let it spoil and get stinking. And the catfish love to smell everything right. They just,
I heard that.
That's what I do.
There's some big ones in here. What do you say? A man said he caught some 24 inches, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, 24 pounds.
24 pounds?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
man, them are some big ones.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Yeah, some of these big old cats, they'll take your whole rod and go with it. You got to watch them. You don't got to watch them. They'll take your rod and run off with it. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be glad one day I'll be able to sit down and get me some fishing done.
Enjoy yourself. That's right. That's right. That's
Yes,
right.
sir. Absolutely. Everybody out fishing today.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day to do it.
Beautiful day to do it. Beautiful day to do it.
That's for sure.
That it is. That it is.
All right, my man. Well, I'm going to get going then, get on up the trail.
All right.
I wish
take
you
care of yourself now.
I wish you luck. Don't catch them
Thank
all.
you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All righty. Have a good one. I say, you guys, sorry about that. Pardon me. I was wanting to see what that guy was fishing with. So using chicken thighs. I know when I was catfishing years ago as a kid, I met this man and I was using chicken livers to catch catfish with. And he said, you know what, I catch catfish a lot better than chicken livers. And I said, what's that? And he said, get you some shrimp. He said, I'm at the supermarket, some of those black jumbo shrimp, and take them and put them out in the sun and let them get good and rotten. He said, and then fish with them. He said, and that's like a steak to a catfish. So I tried it and it worked. Believe it or not, I was catching catfish during the day. So try use some shrimp, get them, let them rot out in the sun, and catfish apparently love it. I used to catch them, so a little fishing tip there for you. Let's see, we just call them Japanese cherry trees. I assume that's not the name. Yeah, I don't know. I could definitely probably Google lens it or something like that to figure. next time I go back through there. Said, oh, hey, Link. Says, hey, dude, how's Nikita? That's a good question. I haven't seen Nikita in a while simply because I left the Shenandoah Valley. I'm not up there anymore. I was up there taking care of some obligations, getting some things done up there, and I got finished up. Got all probation up there and got all that taken care of. So now I'm moving on with my life. I was forced to stay there in that county, or they were going to lock me up pretty much until I got all that taken care of. So I don't know how Nikita's doing, but I'm sure the Lord is watching over her. But it's good seeing you, man. Good seeing you. I hope you're doing good. There's lots of other ducks and geese down here on the river, though. I seen some this morning that walked up to me and spent a little time with them. So that was enjoyable, something fun to do. Yeah, I'm sure she's fine. She's probably doing good, man. All kinds of wildlife and ducks like that. The good Lord takes care of them. Says, I'm doing really good, but yesterday was awful since I found out my boyfriend of 3 years cheated on me. Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish I had somebody to spend time with. You talking about somebody cheating on you. I wish I had somebody to cheat on me. No, I'm just kidding. I've had a very good experience in relationships here lately myself, so I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it gets better for you, but definitely I wouldn't deal with anybody cheating on you. I don't think that's good. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Especially after you put your trust in somebody for so long, and then they wind up cheating on you. I'm sure that's pretty hard and devastating. I'm sorry to hear that. Be saying some prayers for you, if that helps. Whew. My legs are feeling it today, guys. Like I had put it in. I think I've done at least 10 miles today. And it's like that every day until I can find something and get something to happen for me. I look, search, seek, keep looking, and eventually something's going to fall through. Right now I'm just kind of taking some time out, like I said, and trying to meet my daughter for the first time in my life here in my hometown. I stopped through on my way of passing through in life and just trying to make that approach right now. And I don't know how it's going to go, but I've accepted it either way. And this is a daughter that I've never met. I made some bad choices in life, and I cleaned my life up now, and I've put all that behind me, and trying to be a better man and be a dad if that's what I can be. So, and then after that, we're headed on into the next stop. Traveling on to the next destination. I said in the beginning, my dream was to travel and be able to share how beautiful God's creation is, talk about recovery, talk about life, talk about solutions to problems in life and things like that. And, I never really thought there for a long time it was never going to come true. It's definitely been challenging, and it's been not as soon as I thought it would be. I thought last year I would be able to take off with it and get traveling and get on with the channel, but it didn't work out for me, and nearly gave up here pretty much just because it didn't happen for me as quick as I thought it would. But I'm not giving up, and I don't know quite how long it's going to take or even where I'm going at this point in life, but hopefully like I'm helping somebody here on my channel, inspiring people, in recovery, those seeking recovery, those seeking a better life, hope, inspiration, whichever it may be. Says, anyway, I'm going to head off. See you soon, dude. God bless. All right, you too, man. Take care. Good seeing you. Thanks for stopping in with me today. I appreciate having you. Have a great rest of your weekend and a great week coming up. Let's see, Fishing says, be careful of those cobra chickens. What is a cobra chicken, if you want to tell me what that is? But I can probably already guess. But we ain't going to say it, right? But anyways, yeah, man, it's, whew, I'm tired. I'm going to sit down for a minute, take a break. It's a bench up here. I'm going to take a break and sit down. My legs just can't take anymore right now. Oh, you talking about geese? Oh, okay. Woo. Oh, fishing. I'm tired now, man. Now I gotta head back over here to the shelter and get placed for the night and get my dinner in me. You know, I'm thankful that the Lord has people there that provides places for people that are going through challenging times in life, like I am right now myself. But I'm staying strong through it all. I can't say enough where I've been. But not knowing where I'm going, but staying strong through it all and staying sober. And just keep pushing forward. Let's see, fishing says geese. That's what we call them up in Canada. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Canada, that's a place you never hear nothing going on much at. It definitely seems quiet in Canada, like things are going all right up there. Maybe that's where I need to come and live, is in Canada. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to get off here, and that way I can focus. I got to get over here on the road and start getting into some traffic, so I got to pay attention to where I'm walking. I won't be able to look at this phone as much. If I do, I might get hit by a car, so I don't want to do that. I got to get into where I'm going tonight. But it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys today. You guys make me feel great, by the way. Fishing and Curly, I think he's already gone. But I was feeling kind of down and out, and every time I can get here on the channel and you guys encourage me, you make me feel better, you lift me up, and I just greatly appreciate it. I have a lot of friends here, a lot of encouragement, and I'd love to have you a part of my community here. If you're not already a part of it, I'd love for you to subscribe today and like this live stream, and look at some more of my videos and post. I have a lot of nature and wildlife videos for you to watch. The beautiful Shenandoah National Park, Thomas Jefferson National Forest, the George Washington National Forest, Eastern Tennessee, Southern Virginia, just to name a few places I've been so far. And I'm looking forward to traveling to other places now and taking you with me through it all. So this is a lifelong process here in my recovery. It's still working on getting my book written for you all, so everything's in the works, and it's all takes time. It all being God's time. That's the way life is. You guys, I'm gonna get going now, so I can get, like I said, get on across the road. Much love, man. God bless. Have a good one. You too, fishing. God bless, man. Have a great day. God says in a verse that He is the silver refiner of your life. Do me a favor and look up the process to refine silver. Amen. I will do that. Amen. And I appreciate you being here, fishing. Thanks for your encouragement today. Hope you have a great weekend and a great week coming up. And I look forward to seeing you again, chatting with you. Have a good one, my friend. And for the rest of the people that's here, you guys, I'll be back live streaming with you more this coming week. More of my live recovery story here. More out in nature and wildlife. We'll do some exploring. I'll try to find something to get into. Do some plunkering around on the river, or get out in the woods, do some foraging, and kind of mess around and talk about life. And I appreciate you too, fishing. Y'all have a good one now. God bless y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, a great rest of your Sunday. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Y'all take care now. Bye, everybody.